So if you're increasing your position sizes, but your habits haven't changed, you're not really scaling, you're self-destructing. And that's what we're going to discuss in this video. We're going to try and see if you're ready to move up to the next level.
Please, sir, I want some more.
So a question I'm asked all the time is, how do you get the big money? I need the money. I get emails all the time. I need to earn X amount per month, which is fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with having targets. I work the targets all the time.
Stay on target.
But the problem there is you might push the account too hard, scale it too quickly when you're not emotionally ready for it. Now, I'm a big believer in trading small position size in relation to the account because they are synergy connected. Because you can have a huge account and a relatively small position size, but then you would put a small stop in and you get death by 1,000 cuts. So it'll erode it away. Or you could do it the other way. You put a big position size on and you might be right on the trade, but the account size itself can't take the trade. And when it moves into drawdown, you either panic and you pull it and it's a big slam against it. Or if it's on sort of the prop industry, you will hit the drawdown limits or the daily limits and it will just explode the account because you've been sort of over-egging it in the first place. So scaling, it doesn't fix you, it exposes you. And not only does it expose you, that exposure is louder and more destructive than you think. Now this can knock you back tenfold. Now I'm a targeted trader, and the one thing that you should be sort of paying attention to is what the limits of a product is. I'll give you an example.
Well, we watch and wait.
This is a little prop fund that I'm doing at the moment. And as you'll see, the account balance might be 2,500. But if we sort of move this over, should be able to do this. Give us a sec. No, wrong one. This one. Move this over. There we go. Technical failure there, boys and girls. The drawdown's only 5%. Now, why is that? Because it has a daily drawdown of 5%, which means the balance I work to is £275. So that means my position size can be no more than 50 pence. Doesn't sound much, but what it equates to on 20 pips a day is 11 quid. And that's what I work to all the time. Now, I might do it in multiple trades, 2 or 3 a day, like 2, 20, 10 pips, 4 or 5 pips. But as soon as I've hit the 20, I'm done. And then what it does naturally, again, let me just see if I can show you this, because it should show you where it started. There it is. So it started at 20p, but now it's running up, okay? And I'm at 55. Well, it'll actually be 50 because I roll it down to the nearest 10 because it's MT5 and that's how it works. So what that does for me is it means it scales naturally. It doesn't force what's going on, and that keeps me safe. Unlike the Wild Wonder here who's just brought the bacon sandwich. Woo!
Were you going to eat that?
Whoa, that was good. Got the coffee as well, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. But he also likes structure. And I hope when you sort of see the way that I do my spreadsheets and things like that, the natural structure is in front of me all the time. It always gives me something to aim for. Because if you're oversizing, that's the fastest way to fail. So your scaling is actually working against you. And that becomes a real problem. So you didn't grow the size, you forced it.
You're taller than I imagined.
I'm bigger in every department.
Now, if you grow naturally, just every 3 trades increase by just a small percentage point or whatever, or a way that I do it through a sliding scale. At the moment, 20p for every 100. So I know it's slightly over leveraged because really it should be 10p per 100. But I haven't got much to work with.
It's not like everybody doesn't know already.
And emotionally, if you're looking at a sort of 10, 15 quid loss, who gives a shit, right? But if you've got a big account and you're looking at that and it is massively sort of over the top, say a £10,000 loss, you would think about that completely different. So therefore you dial everything back, and the position size, even though it's relatively small to the size of the account, is actually pretty sizable in money terms. Now that's the difference. Now when you've got a small account, you've got no option but to over leverage, right? But there's a difference between over leveraging and forcing the trade and just over leveraging because you've got no other choice. Now when you're doing micro accounts or starting with a tenner, you have no option but to over leverage it. But if you've got £1,000, why are you over leveraging? You don't need to. It'll naturally just grow itself. And if you get to 10,000, 20,000, six figures, the position size can be micro compared to the size of the account. You'll still get paid incredibly well, but your emotions will be flatlined because you're never going to damage it. That's the difference between scaling, over leveraging, and putting your emotions on the line. And it really does make a big, big difference.
So this time next year we'll be millionaires.
So what do you do in order to scale? What's the best thing? Well, first of all, you've got to understand what you're doing. And if you understand what you're doing, stick to one thing, but then be really consistent at it. Consistency is the key. Because if you're going into what I call the treadmill of terror, and that you start with one system and it works all right, but then it fails a bit, so you go into the next system, and then that fails a bit, so you go to the next one, and you just go around in circles over and over. And what you're doing there is you're chasing the market. You're chasing a system that probably doesn't exist, because they all work if you can understand when to use them. Moving average cross system, it's amazing in a trending market. In a sideways market, it's worse than useless. Likewise with oscillators. Sideways, fantastic. Trending, terrible. Now, you've got to know what to do and when to do it. And the only way you can do that is through chart time. Nobody can show you instantly how to trade. You've got to experience it. And it's why I often tell people come to me all the time and say, well, should I get this? Should I get that? I'm like, well, no. You can't buy your way to success. It's a bit like a golfer. You can't buy the best golf clubs and then suddenly be playing Tiger Woods.
Jackass.
You've got to put the course time in. You're doing the same with trading. You've got to go through the school of hard knocks, because in order to get consistent, you've actually got to learn to be able to take a hit. Now, a lot of people don't. They look for the system, and the system that will work 100% of the time just by pressing the button. You can have the best system in the world, but you're dealing with the future. So therefore, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. And 9 times out of 10, and I see this all the time, your desire to trade far outweighs your reason. So you just press the button on a whim, when the chart would have probably told you exactly not to go into the market. Now, for me, I have one thing that is a good benefit to me. I'm patient. I can look at a top-down analysis and I would know whether or not to go to market or not, because I ask a simple question, and I do it at the top of every hour. Is it ready?
Hey, are you ready?
Now that breeds consistency. Now once you've got that consistent pattern, now you can start lifting up your position size gently. Gently, because you don't want to overstress your account. Certainly don't overstress you. And then what happens from there is the money will naturally grow. But you're actually doing the same thing over and over. But if you're forcing a trade, or certainly forcing an oversize, it'll very rarely end well. In fact, it'll always end badly.
Isn't that logical?
So really, what you want to be thinking all the time is trading shouldn't be exciting, because if you're getting excited because you've got a position size on, and it's a big position size and it's running for you, it's not trading. That's gambling. That's pushing the reams out too far. What it really wants is, yeah, it's on. So what? Have a cup of coffee. Brilliant. Because we all know Scruffy likes the coffee. And just sit back. Let it do its thing. Because boring wins. If you're getting excitable, what you got to remember is that means your emotional roller coaster is all over the place. It's wonderful when it's sort of on the rise, and you got that anticipation, and then it's wonderful, and it's like, yes, this is exciting, and then it goes over the cliff, and it's like, oh, holy shit, where's my mum? Right? That's not really what you want. You know, boring wins. Then again, talking of excitable, here she comes. She gets excitable, you know. She really does. Yeah. Certainly at about 9:30 at night when I'm getting ready to go to bed. She gets excited for the peace and quiet. What did you think we were going to talk about there, boys and girls?
Big tits. Huge tits.
And I had a little bit of a thought. I was having a moment there when I was thinking about going to bed with Winky. Because that's a good thing, right? But I'm over-leveraged because I've got two coffees, so I've oversized. That might make me excitable.
How does that gobshite get on the television?
But no. But getting back to what we're actually talking about in this video is sizing isn't as important as you think it is. It should just come naturally. You know, earn the right to increase your position size. And when you do it that way, what you'll find is this job becomes really enjoyable. Yeah, boring, you could say. I mean, personally, I never find it boring. It fascinates me how the charts move and how just making little tweaks improve every day. Because for me, it's the challenge of I'm going against the best of the best every day. And I'm trying to outwit and survive in a game that is probably rigged to take you out of the game in the smallest length of time. So to me, I find that really exciting. But the money side of it doesn't. It never does. It's just a byproduct of what I do. The process is what excites me.
Really? Really?
Now, if I get that process right, well, then I've earned the right to increase the position size. But I've also earned the right for the rewards that position size gives me. But if I try and get it straight away, the chances are I'll lose. And I'll lose because of ego. So reset your mind and you'll probably reset the account.
Okay. Well, the mind's an amazing organ.
I've got an amazing organ.
It's capable of far more than you'd imagine.
Right again.
So what am I now then? Am I still the big bear or am I a pup?
Well, you're not a pup anymore. You're more like the big bear.
I'm the big bear. Right, okay. So, I'm the bear, but does that make her the bull? Not really, but if she plays her cards right, she'll get the horn.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Ah, there we go.
God, you have to get in.
That's the one for this video, boys and girls. So, I'm just going to wind this one up now. What you've got to remember is, enjoy your life, but don't force your life. If you increase your position size too much, it will affect everything around you because it'll destroy the one thing that you want, which is your account. And then when your account goes, you start getting tetchy. You probably take it out on people around you, and that is never good. All right? So just do it slowly and gently. A little bit like mine and her relationship. It's been, do you think it's been slow and gentle over the last 20 years?
Slow? No.
All right. Scrap everything I've said. Just speed it up. Every day is an adventure in our house. But that's because I don't have financial pressure. I can not worry about the gas bill. And I got to there just by slow, steady gains. Something for you to think about. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love. And the money will follow. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, why not check out one of our other videos? They're kicking around here somewhere on the screen. And also come along to our WhatsApp group. What you'll see there is what I'm up to during the day. I'll work the strengths out for you in the morning to help you pick a pair. And also little news updates throughout the day. And also write-ups of our live meetings. And if you want to come along to our live meetings, drop on the website and you'll find all the links of how to come along and get guest access. See you all on the next one.